Hey everyone, how are you doing today? Get another update video of the Perses out, and we're at the original again. And I was just taking a look around and show you the before and after of certain areas that were redone. Now, I did make mention that I did want to redo this front wall in the last video. Part of that also is this front room up here. So these are the originals. One other section that was also now redone is the farm. In the farm, I really like the layout. So as I redid this, I did not change a thing on the layout. All the row plots remain the same. The same idea with the shut-off switches for the different grow light rows, and the island in the middle of the farm section all remains intact without anything getting moved. But I did do like a remodeling of the room from where it is here. So let me shoot over to the other ship here a minute. Start with the lower sections. Now I did get some more hangar work done too. I built out the second setup on the other side, and I did end up putting 4 constructors back in just like it originally was. Trust me, I really wanted to get, jam in a couple deconstructors. And if they ever do allow it, all you got to do is zap out a couple of these and put in deconstructors in their spot. I believe they're the same size. So we have a 64K ammo bin and another 320K storage bin over here. And I jammed the armor repair and armor locker over on the side here. I threw in a repair console on this wall currently. I might probably get an LCD on-off switch, or I might move this yet. So that's could get changed. Now, my next thing before I actually retexture the hangar floor in this ship is I want to hit the bottom of the ship. And not that it's terribly bad, but I think I can do a better job with the blocks and make it look a little more, I don't know, broken up, not quite as much of a pattern. But I'll try to do something interesting with the ship there. So moving on, we have a new front wall here. Again, I don't have these LCD screens set yet. I jammed in a whole bunch more cargo boxes on the front now that I had space for, and then we have the same functionality of a O2 and med station. And yeah, a lot of room here for cargo boxes. Now, I'll probably leave these when I release the ship, but I'm kind of gearing it up so if you wanted a 7500 CPU ship, getting rid of the 12 cargo boxes back here and the 16 cargo boxes up here, and maybe a couple of fuel tanks, and then it would be at 7500 CPU, even with the storage. So that is the game plan here. So this new design is a little bit simpler, but I modified this front room quite severely from where it was. Now it's the same general layout. I'll probably throw in a cooking station and things like that, but one thing I didn't like from the original is that the floor was straight, and then you went into an elevator here, and then you had to go down like a block to get into the hangar. I did have the 2 side doors, and I left those in here. Not that they needed to be, just that it was part of the original, and that's how it used to work. So same idea, storing some O2 and some fuel up in these little loft bins up here. And on the design of this too, I left some open blocks in places, so if you wanted to throw in some more stuff or RCS or whatnot, you got some hidden spaces here that you could do that. Maybe I'll do something with that more, I don't know yet. So yeah, and with the new front door and the new entry to the ship, it's just basically I need to populate it more with some things, goods and stuff like that. So that is 2 of the big areas I did. When I was actually doing the hangar too, I blew away a chunk of the roof and redid that with a little bit more curvy blocks. I built out this support a little more, try to get it more defined, and I actually popped in a Wi-Fi over here. What I'm planning for the ship is to actually have 3 Wi-Fis. I want to get one in the front of the ship. This is like the middle one, and I might slam one way in the back of the ship here somewhere, just so it has good Wi-Fi coverage when you're around. So moving on up to the farm, More down. Here is the new farm area, and basically it's a remodel. I did not mess with anything here. It looks like I got this strip of grow lights on right now. I'm noticing on the new grow lights too, they have like a lens flare now, and actually all the lights do, and I think that does look good because you get some like environmental effects going on with that. So as in the farm, I redid the walls some, and I added this little strip along the edges here that kind of is nice and smooth and curvy. I kept the colors the same, and the reason why I don't have white for the bottom row is the windows, and I wanted to match the same color as the exterior of the ship. So therefore, kept that gray. Otherwise, you'd have like a white and then a gray window, and I don't think that looks too good. But yeah, as in this same island deal, I got rid of the glass that was here and put in some blocks. I don't know. I think I like it a little bit better this way. It's hard to say. I wish there was a couple different kinds of blocks though, because I had something in mind, but the blocks that were available, even with all the new blocks, didn't really work out. So I had to kind of use some very basic traditional blocks on that. So yeah, hope you like the new farm. I think it looks good, and but it is very familiar to anyone that ever had the ship before because it really didn't change. It's just a reskin, remodel. Use some new blocks on the roof. I gotta say, I like that. It kind of splits up this, makes this look like a unique section all the way across. It used to have more of a pattern that would repeat across the roof, and that changed. And I also did a different kind of ceiling above this area with some new blocks and have these little strips here. Um, so that is about what has been done. And this actually took a long time to do, believe it or not. Um, I'm happy the front wall and the front room's all set up and the other constructor bay's in place, and it's well on its way at this point in time. What is left is the top area, and I haven't touched this yet. A couple block changes there, but I'm planning on going through this area and getting this all tweaked out, ramped up a little bit, and then I've got this room over here, which is a little more spacious than it used to be because all the RCS that used to be sitting here is now gone, and I don't need to put it back there. But again, all over this ship, there's extra like places to put things, and that's kind of neat. You can mod it or customize it, and then I'll go do a run through on the bridge area yet. I might add in a couple more switches to shut off like crafting power and things like that to the hangar area. But I mean, more or less, it's well on its way at this point in time. It's the end is near on getting this complete. Probably my last biggest project is the bottom of the ship and hangar floor. And I might make a couple changes to these walls yet. I'm not totally happy with what I did here. It's okay, but I don't know. Maybe I could do a little something better. I think this area looks better than that area, essentially. But then again, I don't have any lights on this area either, and that does kind of make it look better. As in night lighting, I didn't do too much here. I changed these top lights around so they're using spotlights, but I haven't really tweaked out the front area. I need to brighten this up, and the back area I've got to kind of redo all these lights. In fact, they're not even on right now. Used to have a switch there to turn them on or off, and now what I'm going to do is run a circuit and connect multiple sensors together so I can cover this whole space. I didn't know how to do that when I built the ship, so I had like a switch for the front hangar lights and a switch for the back hangar lights, and I just simply don't need that anymore. But yeah, the effects of these lights, as you can see, I think that's really cool. I've been waiting for something like that for a long time. Now, in the comments, I've been asked a few times actually, have I done like engineering or something like that in the past? No, not professionally. Um, since I've been a kid, I've always liked to build things. So I've, with computers and things later on, I did take some CAD classes and kind of went into architecture. That was just a class, so I mean, I never, there's not many architecture jobs out in the real world. But I have done a lot of level design work, mostly all for Unreal Tournament and then Unreal Tournament 2007. So I kind of got into that about like I did in Empyrion back in the day, and made a bunch of maps and things like that, and they're still out on the internet. If you the latest one of those I did, if you ever want to look it up, it's called CTF Morgoth. Morgoth was actually a name I borrowed from Lord of the Rings, and the map is very much Lord of the Rings style and look. I built it around the time when I believe the last Lord of the Rings movie came out. So, well, or probably after that, but around 2007, 2008 time frame. That is up on the internet for download, and there's a bunch of pictures for that too. But you need Unreal Tournament 2007 to actually play that. Older stuff that I did was for the original Unreal Tournament, and I made. And I don't know if any of you have played that. It was very popular back when it came out, and 3D graphics were like a pretty new thing for PCs. And I made maps like something like Cold Steel, Colder Steel, Project X. Made a map called Project X2, CTF Underdark. Quite a few maps that I put out. I think like 6 or so for Unreal Tournament. Then I came back in 2007, 2008 time frame and made CTF Morgoth, which is on a whole different level than the original maps. Newer technology. I remember on the original UT maps, they were you had to try to keep wherever you could see at like 200 polygons. Um, and the 2007 version, it was almost unlimited polygons. So I mean, things really got upgraded between that time. And then I also realized too, like the average time it would take me to make a map could be like a 2 weeks to a month. And that's not, like full time working on it. I mean, that's like when I get time to work on it. And then when I did CTF Morgoth, I literally spent 6 months on that map. But I was all into all custom models, custom textures, and totally unique looking from anything else ever in the game. Unreal Tournament was all about like tech and kind of grungy industrial stuff, and here I am coming up with like castles and Lord of the Rings and lava pits. So I was changing the rules, I guess, on trying to make something new. Oh yeah, I got sidetracked. I just wanted to kind of answer those questions, and I really love the comments. I've been getting in the habit now. Before I make another video, I will look through the comments and read everything and know what's going on. So yeah, I'm really hoping you like the changes on the ship. One thing, and this doesn't surprise me at all, the size class has jumped. I'm at 966 now, and I expected this, doing all these changes and using the other blocks and whatnot. But I'm feeling pretty good because I have all the systems in place now, so I don't need to add anything more. I'm just happy that this part is done, and yeah, I'll probably do some enhancements in this area, and you can tell already too. I mean, if you look at the old ship and the styling at night, and granted, you couldn't do spotlights and you couldn't do a lot of the new stuff that you can now, but you can tell it's severely changed in appearance from the new areas to the old areas yet. And here, let's look at this front room again too. The front room, I think I left the original lights, but I just changed them over to like a spotlight setup. And I do like this indentation in the ground. I've never done anything quite like that before. I think it kind of looks neat. Does the point, and yeah, if you run down through the center door, it's a straight shot into the hangar now, and that's why I did that. I had to make a little body mod on the bottom of the ship over here to build out the floor more, so I tried something different. Now granted, I don't have the bottom of the ship done yet, and that's probably my next major project, like I was saying. So I'll have to get all this textured and kind of revamped. Want to kind of get the bottom to look like the sides, and everything else that's got tweaked out on this ship. But again, thanks for watching. Love the comments. Got any other questions or whatnot, throw them in there, and I will look through them before I put out any new videos. And well, y'all have a good day, and I'm thinking if I get some time later today, and then maybe into tomorrow, I will try to get the top portion of the ship kind of gone through. There's not a lot of work to do there in comparison to what I was doing on the bottom side of the ship, though. And the bottom side of the ship was obviously much larger. Now, the last area that I'm still troubled with, and I really didn't do anything to make it better, is these crew rooms are still dinky, and I just know being, it's like 2 blocks tall, 2 blocks wide, that, well, I guess 3 blocks sort of, but 2 usable blocks where I can put something. And there's just hardly anything I can do with these crew rooms. They're just a little too small. But, you know, they're still there, they're out of the way, and they're not actually needed, period. So it's just all a bonus. Okay, well, y'all have a good day. See you later.